U.S. Border Patrol released more than 900,000 migrants who entered the U.S. illegally into the interior of the country in fiscal year 2023. Newly released Customs and Border Patrol data underscore the ongoing challenges of maintaining border security and lawful immigration. The nearly 910,000 migrants who were allowed to stay in the U.S. were caught illegally crossing the border between ports of entry and given notices to appear in court, often scheduled years in the future. Those figures do not include migrants released by ICE or who were met by customs officials at ports of entry. The Biden administration has emphasized the need for additional funding to address challenges in the immigration system and expand lawful migration pathways. President Biden has called on Congress to provide an additional $14 billion in funding. In a statement alongside the funding request, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said, "At this time of unprecedented hemispheric and global challenges, we must come together to strengthen our ability to protect the American people. I strongly urge Congress to give the men and women of DHS the resources and support they need to achieve our safety and security mission." The request allocates support for border operations, covering processing, support for states and communities where migrants are released, and additional agents to enforce border security. The situation at the border has sparked political debate, with Republicans advocating for increased border security, including wall construction and restrictions on asylum and parole releases, all while attributing the crisis to the Biden administration's policies on the release of migrants. Brandon Judd, president of the National Border Patrol Council, expressed concerns about the proper vetting of migrants arrested between ports of entry. This year, the Border Patrol has arrested more than 47 subjects per day with serious criminal histories.
That could be up to murder, it can be rape, it could be assault. Those are the serious crimes that we're talking about. When you're looking at 47 people per day, that's what we know of because that's what we apprehend. But you also have to consider that there's about 1,000 people per day that are able to evade apprehension. So we don't know who those people are. We don't know what those criminal records are. We don't know if they're coming from countries that want to do us harm.
Democrats say Republicans falsely claim the border is open, perpetuating misinformation which could influence migration patterns.
This fear-mongering about the border, let me be clear, empowers the smugglers and cartels when our Republican colleagues claim that the border is open. That is the most important information that they use to continue their activities. Turns into disinformation and misinformation shared by smugglers, distributed by social media, and stoked by relentless right-wing media lies and shouts of open borders, all of which fuel migration patterns.
House Speaker Mike Johnson endorsed legislation to bolster border security and reform asylum policies, including the introduction of the Asylum Reform and Border Protection Act in February, which aims to enhance the demonstration of migrants' fear of persecution in their home countries.